Hi, Taylor T. Carlson here, and back in time today for some more classic cinema. Today we're going to be taking a look at two films released in the 1970s that adapted Alexandre Dumas's famous novel, The Three Musketeers. We're going to be looking at the 1973 film, The Three Musketeers, and its sequel, The Four Musketeers, which came out the following year. I'm going to unbox these releases and share my opinions. These are imports, but 4K discs are region-free, so they will work in your American 4K player. However, the Blu-ray discs that are included are region B locked, although everything that's on the Blu-ray discs is on the 4K, so probably won't be a big deal for most viewers. Okay, we'll start out with The Three Musketeers, the first film. Underneath the slipcover, again, pretty much the same thing. And here's our two discs. You have the 4K as well as the Blu-ray disc. Although I do want to point out that the 4K discs actually do have the same bonus features that are on the Blu-ray. It's not one of those instances where they just put the bonuses on the Blu-ray and leave the 4K bare bones. So I do appreciate that. And then we have the sequel, The Four Musketeers, packaged similarly, of course. And then there are discs, again, pretty similar looking to the last set. And of course, you get an all-star cast and crew with these movies. The films were directed by Richard Lester, who'd previously directed the Beatles' first two films. He'd later go on to direct two of the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. And then you get a musical score in the second film composed by Lalo Schifrin, the guy who'd previously composed the Mission Impossible theme music and also worked on movies like Bullet and the Dirty Harry series. The cast includes the likes of Oliver Reed, Raquel Welch, Richard Chamberlain, Michael York, Frank Finley, Geraldine Chaplin, Simon Ward, Faye Dunaway, and even Charlton Heston. So you get a nice all-star cast here. These movies have phenomenal production values. It's clear a lot of work went into making these, and they were a true labor of love for the cast who wanted to bring the classic Alexandre Dumas novel to life on the big screen. I can't speak for how good of an adaptation of the novel this is or how accurate it is, because I've never read the original novel. But what I saw was a movie that had excellent production values, a great all-star cast, and just beautiful scenery and cinematography throughout. In particular, the performance from Michael York is probably my personal favorite. Seeing him as this bumbling guy who wants to go out and become a warrior in the service of the king, it makes for some very funny moments. York had previously played a role in the Franco Zeffirelli Romeo and Juliet film. He'd go on to star in the film Logan's Run a few years later. And of course, he's forever known to modern audiences for portraying the character of Basil Exposition in the Austin Powers films. The rest of the cast is just as impressive, and probably my only complaint is there's so much story here. So much story, so many characters, way too much to keep track of, and the narrative does get a bit bogged down as a result of this, and it's kind of hard to follow, but overall the good by far outweighs the bad. These are beautiful looking films that I'm very happy to see finally make their 4K debut. Overall, these 4K discs look pretty good. You get some nice detail and some bright, vibrant colors. Any scene that has the color red, it's like the color red just wants to pop off the screen. Now, don't come into these expecting home theater demo material by any means. You're just going to get the most faithful and, as far as I know, accurate-looking version of the movie that you can find. The color palette seems to be pushed a little to the bluish, tealish end of the spectrum, so I don't know if the color palette always looked like that. If you knew the film from back in the day, maybe comment down below and let me know if you know the answer to that. There's also a handful of bonus features included here as well, including featurettes with Neil Sinyard, Sinyard, I'm not sure how to pronounce that name. There's a Saga of the Musketeers documentary, also a vintage making of featurette on the first movie, and then we get, of course, classic trailers for the films as well. Again, like I said, the Blu-rays that are included are region B locked. However, I was able to play those on my Panasonic 820 by pushing the stop button when I saw the region lock message and hit the top menu button. Not that there's really much of a point to doing that, considering everything that's on those is on the 4K discs as well, but Just throwing that out there, maybe if you only own a Blu-ray player and you're thinking about importing these and future-proofing your collection. So I do have to say, overall, these are very entertaining, old-fashioned, swashbuckling pieces of entertainment. I love just, old-fashioned stories like this, and this is one of the best examples of that that's available on the 4K format. These are certainly worth importing if you're a fan and you want to go back and get some old-school movies to add to your 4K movie collection. Are you a fan of this take on the Three Musketeers? What do you think about Richard Lester's direction and all of the performances from the all-star cast here? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content, as I'm always posting new videos. And make sure you give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm Taylor T. Carlson. I'll see you next time.